I've been predicting now for a long time that the Chinese car market, which is by far the biggest auto market in the world, would start to reclaim its own. What do I mean by that? That Chinese automakers would begin to eat into legacy auto sales in China, meaning what? Legacy auto would lose significant global market share. It's happening now. Here are the numbers. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Electric Viking, great to see you. Welcome to the channel, new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. I'm coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. My name is Sam. Great to see you. China, what's going on there? Chinese branded vehicles reached 43% in Q1 of 2022. That's the highest percentage that they have had in history. Remember, this isn't really, it sort of requires a bit more clarification for you to understand what's going on in China. Right now, every car manufactured is manufactured by a Chinese auto company, except for Tesla vehicles. Everyone else, Chinese manufacturing companies manufacture them. Volkswagen vehicles, Toyota vehicles, Honda, all of them are manufactured in China by Chinese car companies, except for about 1% of the market, and Tesla, that's it. So this 43% number is just Chinese car companies making Chinese branded products in China. The irony of this here is, to be fair, Legacy Auto hasn't taken Chinese automakers seriously. They've kind of thought they were a laughingstock. They thought they were a joke. They thought that they could never make things work, that the West would never take them seriously. Well, all that is changing. In particular, it's changing in China, but it's changing everywhere else around the world. Have a look at this YouTube channel. Have a look at how many people watch videos about Xpeng vehicles, about NIO, about random Chinese electric cars. Never before have we seen this happen. When Chinese car companies started to release some impressive new electric cars at Chinese auto shows over the last few years, Legacy Auto just didn't take any notice. At the time, these new players didn't cause any panic among traditional auto companies because their reputation was plagued with doubt and negativity. However, the Minister of the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology has pointed out that Chinese car brands now, in some cases, carry more cachet and kudos than legacy automakers, in particular when it comes to electric cars. In 2019, Chinese branded vehicles in China represented only 34% of all sales that year. Fast forward to 2022 and we hit 43%. Very good chance by the end of this year, we're going to hit 50%. Where is it to go from there? A few years ago, the Chinese government decided enough is enough. They want Chinese auto to dominate. So they started providing incentives for manufacturers at many different levels, at the state government level, at the federal government level, at the local council level. These subsidies were for NEVs, or new energy vehicles. The Chinese government coined this term to designate vehicles eligible for public subsidies, including battery electric, plug-in hybrid, and fuel cell vehicles. Essentially, the Chinese government guessed on new technology of electric cars being the vehicles of the future. They guessed correctly. They got it right. And it would have been a pretty expensive guess if they'd gotten it wrong, seeing as they've incentivized the industry to the tune of billions of dollars. Furthermore, within those 3 years, more than 100 electric car brands have popped up, seemingly overnight, many of them producing incredibly good quality vehicles at very, very low prices. According to Su Dongshu, Secretary General of the China Passenger Car Association, in recent years, Chinese auto brands have gained more market share in cars with a price range of 120,000 to 250,000 RMB, or 18,000 to 37,500 US dollars. This price range is the price range of the main models of joint venture car companies. In other words, this increase in market share from these Chinese auto companies, many people are thinking, oh, they're probably just increasing market share because they're just selling cheap cars. Not the case. Their increase in market share has largely come in the mainstream legacy automaker price bracket area. So far in the first quarter of 2022, carnewschina.com says that domestic Chinese sales of new energy vehicles totaled 1.257 million units. Specifically, the sales of Chinese brand electric vehicles reached 680,000, accounting for more than 50% market share. BYD even surpassed Tesla in the sales ranking of new energy vehicle companies with 282,000 units compared to Tesla's 108,300. Now, those numbers for BYD, by the way, do include both plug-in hybrids and fully electric cars, but you get the point. If you actually exclude Tesla from that total, only about 20% of all new energy plug-in hybrid and electric cars made in China are made in China and have a legacy automaker badge on the end. All the rest are Teslas or Chinese branded vehicles. So what does this mean? Well, in the era of electric cars, the rise of the electric car is stirring up the luxury car market. It's stirring up the Chinese car market in a big way. Legacy Auto is now very scared, and they're finally starting to take this threat seriously. One reason, price. Price is an important cornerstone that supports the upwards trend of Chinese brands. Chinese branded electric cars are cheaper and better in many cases, well, in almost all cases, than their legacy auto counterparts. As Chinese brands continue to enter the luxury car market, they will gradually become more dominant. The annual sales volume of Chinese brand vehicles priced at more than 200,000 RMB, which is 30,000 US dollars, exceeded 900,000 units in 2021, according to the Auto Home Research Institute. More specifically, Chinese brand new energy vehicles priced at more than 200,000 RMB accounted for 54% of annual sales volume. What does this mean? Well, Chinese brand vehicles have now taken the majority of the luxury car market in China. This is where most of the profit for legacy auto comes from. They're losing their main profit driver. Now, as many of you know, it's already false reporting that Volkswagen claims to sell 9.5 million cars a year. Toyota claims to sell 10 million. Honda, all their claims are false because they don't admit to the reality, which I've already reported on this channel, that a large percentage of that number are manufactured in China by Chinese auto companies, where those Chinese car companies own 40, usually more than 50% of those sales. They never say that. They always claim all sales as their own. Those sales figures have to be revised significantly downward to get a true figure. And, of course, many people claim, erroneously, this is something I've read numerous times by uninformed commenters, and it's a comment that is being repeated constantly. Volkswagen's most important market is Europe. Well, if it's its most important market, why does 50% of its profit come from China and not 50% of its profit come from Europe? That's worth thinking about. If Volkswagen was to lose 50% of its market share in China, it loses 25% at least, if not more, of its profit for its business globally. This is something that could happen to every single legacy automaker on the face of planet Earth. And it's happening right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.